We do not walk alone in this freedom, fellow South Africans. And we did not walk into this freedom on our own. We were carried by a tide of solidarity from the nations of the world, from the nations of Africa.
South Africa just heard a message that many won't agree.
These countries opened their borders to our liberation fighters when the apartheid government was pursuing our liberation fighters.
This is because on the day meant to celebrate their freedom, the president delivered a warning, not just to foreigners, but to South Africans too.
To those who are here legally, respect us as South Africans, respect our laws.
And after what just happened on the stage, the message hit even harder. And today on Kweku Africa, we break it down exactly what happened on South Africa's Freedom Day. And all that you gotta do is to like, comment, subscribe. And we're almost at the end of the month. This is the time you have to send money back home. And don't send money with extra charges. You have to send all the money home. And so I'm recommending LemFi for you. LemFi have 0 charges. When you use LemFi, you don't pay anything. In fact, you even get £20 for free if you decide to sign up with my code Kweku Africa. You get free £20 for free, no charges, and you even get an extra money. So sign up on LemFi today, sign up with Kweku Africa, and enjoy that good.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
April 27th in South Africa is a Freedom Day. In fact, it's a day that marks the fall of apartheid and the birth of democracy in South Africa. But in 2026, the celebration came with tension. So first, a day starting the occasion, some 3 foreigners were unalived in South Africa. And that is not all. While South African President Cyril Ramaphosa was on stage addressing the crowd in Bloemfontein, something unexpected happened. In the middle of the event, security suddenly moved in because an individual allegedly tried to rush toward the stage, forcing officers to act swiftly. The situation was quickly contained, but the movement was already captured and it spread very fast online. This turned the celebration into a national conversation because this wasn't just about one incident. It exposed something deeper, that tensions have been building for months. Then came the president's response, and this is where things got serious. Ramaphosa made 2 clear statements. Number 1, he urged foreign nationals living in South Africa to respect the law as they want others to respect their laws back home.
To those who are here legally, respect us as South Africans, respect our laws, respect our conventions and our traditions, as you would want us to respect the laws and traditions of your own country. As a nation that defeated colonialism and apartheid through international solidarity, we carry a responsibility to advance constitutional values beyond our borders. So we then therefore say, yes, let us allow our laws to take their course. We have already set in place the way in which we will be able to deal with those who are in our country illegally. We remain committed to multilateralism, to respect for international law and principled diplomacy. International law was born from the devastation of global conflict. It is a shield for all countries in the world, regardless of their size or influence. True multilateralism demands respect for diversity while remaining firm in the core principles of sovereignty, of human rights, of freedom, of accountability, and peaceful coexistence.
And then, to a very powerful statement, he also urged South Africans not to use illegal immigration as a reason to attack others. In his words, unity matters. He reminded them of how these same foreign nationals carried South Africa during their darkest moment from apartheid, how they supported South Africans and urged South Africans not to attack them.
And must never be that we trample into the dust the African fellowship that made our freedom possible. We are a people who live the value of Ubuntu. We should never allow the legitimate concerns of our communities about illegal migration to breed prejudice and hatred towards our fellow Africans. We should not allow that to happen. Yes, we all have concerns, as many other countries in the world have concerns about undocumented and illegal migrants. We must not allow these concerns to give rise to xenophobia, to give rise to hatred that is directed towards people from other African countries or any parts of the world. We are South Africans. We cannot be driven by hatred towards others. Others gave us compassion. They gave us support. And we cannot be driven by hatred towards them. Instead, we must insist that the law of our country be upheld and enforced. That is why we are clamping down on illegal migration and on businesses that flout the law by hiring undocumented persons at the expense of our citizens. I spoke about this during the State of the Nation address. We are actively rooting out corruption in our immigration system. We know that a number of people who have come in illegally into our country were allowed by some, not all, officials who have had corrupt tendencies. We will not allow people to take the law into their own hands. We extend hospitality to those who are guests in our country with the expectation that generosity is honored with respect for our society and its laws. And we say to those who are here legally, respect us as South Africans, respect our laws, respect our conventions and our traditions, as you would want us to respect the laws and traditions of your own country. As a nation that defeated colonialism and apartheid through international solidarity, we carry a responsibility to advance constitutional values beyond our borders. So we then therefore say, yes, let us allow our laws to take their course. We have already set in place the way in which we will be able to deal with those who are in our country illegally. We remain committed to multilateralism, to respect for international law and principled diplomacy. International law was born from the devastation of global conflict.
And that's where the country feels divided, because on one side, the citizens are frustrated about jobs, crime, and illegal immigration. And on the other hand, there are warnings against xenophobia and calls to protect dignity. Two realities, one country. Already, the people are saying that they are not being xenophobic. They are only fighting for their country and their right. But the presidents and the foreigners are also calling them xenophobic.
President Ramaphosa, it's about time to leave now. It's about time to leave the office. He's done. Mr. Ramaphosa never loved South Africans, particularly poor South Africans. He never loved, he never cared about poor South Africans. People were killed in Marikana. Poor people were murdered like flies in Marikana. Nothing happened. No consequences whatsoever. Nothing happened. Poor people were murdered in Marikana under his authority. Nothing happened whatsoever. We made him a president of ANC. He destroyed ANC, single-handedly destroyed ANC. He found ANC on the ICU, yes. He found it on the ICU. He pulled the plug and ANC died. Today, ANC found itself on GNU with no other options. When GNU started, Mandela started GNU, it was an option. You know, it was an idea pilot that Mandela wanted to exercise. He had an option to do some other stuff. But today, there is no other option. He's done with ANC, destroyed ANC, now he's slowly destroying our country, South Africa. We can't allow that happen. Ramaphosa destroyed ANC, destroying South Africa. The youth unemployment is 45.5. The youth unemployment rate in South Africa is on 32% unemployment rate under his leadership. Come on. People who suffers the most in South Africa now are poor people that he doesn't care about. Literally, he doesn't care at all. These Nigerians wants to bring, they will kill poor South Africans. At least in every single household in South Africa, at least there's only one drug addict that fed drugs by Nigerians. We know that. He knows it. Go to Hillbrow, you'll see that. Go to Sunnyside, go to Durban in South Beach, you would see that. You know that. He knows that. There's every corner in South Africa, there's a Nyaope addict, fed drugs by Nigerians. Now you should come easily? No. No, Mr. Ramaphosa, we say no. Thank you. We do not want Nigerian product in South African shelves. We don't want it. We don't want Nigerians to come easily in South Africa. No, we don't want that. How can you even say people should come without even providing a passport? What country does that? Who does that? No, Mr. Ramaphosa, we don't want Nigerians. There is so many countries that we can partner with in South Africa. There is Botswana that produces more diamond more than any other country in Africa. There is Congo, where there is more the richest country with mineral resources in Africa, Congo, that we can partner with. There is Rwanda. They built the country from scratch. Paul Kagame built the country from nothing to where it is today. Those are the countries we can partner with, that can contribute to our economy. No, Mr. There's countries that help us during struggle. There's Tanzania, there's Mozambique, there's Zambia. There's so many countries we can partner with. No, Mr. Ramaphosa, no. It's about time now to step down.
Cyril Ramaphosa, you are too soft on these black South Africans that are out here acting xenophobic to the rest of the African continent. You are too soft. You ministers there, you people that are supposed to be in charge, the leadership, that freaking regime, the supposed GNU, you people are not doing anything to curb the xenophobic freaking attacks and behavior that are happening in South Africa. It's going to be an unapologetic podcast.
Cyril Ramaphosa has given an address, and he has addressed the violence against Africans in South Africa. If you don't know, there has been an outbreak of violence against Africans, poor Africans, many of them traitors in the streets. Many of them have been attacked with all they own taken from other South Africans who are blaming them for their poverty and not the years of apartheid that basically disenfranchised Africans. Cyril addressed this issue, and he said that the government should not allow lawlessness and the attack of other immigrants, but he also said that immigrants must respect the culture of South Africa. My question is, how is selling clothes or flip-flops by the side of the street or in a market not respecting the African culture? Cyril Ramaphosa, I completely and utterly admire your staunch support for the marginalized, especially in Cuba, Palestine. I really respect your staunch grounding when it comes to these global issues, but you're letting Africans down. Africans should be trading with each other. And you see, the European Union, people have been able to travel and work in each other's countries. There are South Africans working in all countries around the world. And what you are doing is you're turning on other Africans. Instead of organizing or a formal way of dealing with illegal immigrants, your position is actually very firm, and people, Africans, are dying.
But what even makes this more powerful is the timing, because Freedom Day is supposed to remind South Africans of unity, equality, and shared struggle. Now, think about it. 32 years after democracy, South Africa is still asking who belongs, who is protected, and what does freedom really mean today. And that is because this is no longer just about immigration. It's about identity, about leadership, and now it's about whether the country can balance law with humanity. Cyril Ramaphosa has drawn the lines. Respect the law, reject violence. But the real question is, will the people listen? What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with President Cyril Ramaphosa? Leave your comment in the comment section. This is a wrap for today.